So, I just saw Jurassic World Dominion today. Not a big fan of Jurassic movies. Not necessarily a movie guy, but I was going to do something with my friends, so, see a movie with them, that works for me. And I expected pretty low expectations. Like, just another Hollywood movie about, something that's been done before, something just to appease people. It had Chris Pratt though, so I didn't really care. I would see it because, he's like one of the only Christian actors in Hollywood, so I support him. But I was actually pretty surprised by it. Like, it had a lot of interesting points in it. The movie was nothing to behold in terms of like legacy of Jurassic Park and whatnot, but it was actually pretty political, surprisingly. Just to kind of break it down, it talked about like corporations destroying food supplies, food chains, trying to gain power over the world. I thought it was pretty based, and that was like the underlying plot of the whole movie, and it was focused on trying to stop the corporations from doing that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But it also talked about like them using genetically modified food and only targeting like food that farmers were making. So it's kind of parallel to what's going on in real life, because you got the government basically funding farmers to destroy their own farms, and then you also have farms and like eggplants, chicken plants, whatever, just burning down or getting avian flu and killing all the chickens. It's not random, that stuff doesn't just happen. That's obviously government work. So it's pretty cool to see that in a movie. It's basically saying, oh, look, we have the people who are in power over us literally trying to subvert us and destroy our way of life. Plus, it even had the CIA, working in there. I mean, of course, they said CIA was good and they're against that stuff, but, you have to, otherwise they're gonna not want the movie to be released, so that makes sense. But overall, it's pretty good. I enjoyed the fact that, once again, stuff that comes out of the movie industry isn't just pandering to random garbage like, oh, I like superheroes and whatnot, because that's what most movies are nowadays. It's random Reddit tier stuff, like, people from that forum with like not actual good what is it? There's no consistency to most of it. It's just random garbage just to entertain people. Like what they did with Star Wars. Kind of sucks, but whatever, it happened. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. I actually enjoyed it. What's interesting though, well, not rather interesting, but kind of odd, is the fact that despite it had a based like underlying plot, the overall plot was just typical movie plot. Not very cool. It did have some good themes in it, like self-sacrifice, but anytime you have Chris Pratt in there, it's always self-sacrifice for whatever's going on. But that's always a good theme to see. Another enjoyable theme was it? I don't really know how to pronounce, or not pronounce it, but like expand it, but like anti-trafficking, I guess, because the movie basically starts out with a raid on a farm to stop dinosaur trafficking. So whatever, it's dinosaurs, doesn't really matter, but you can see that as, oh look, trafficking's a bad thing, people actually care about trafficking. Then we got like in real life, trafficking's huge things going on, and it showed how like the hub for that in the movie was like Malta. That's where all the dinosaurs go to. But it's actually pretty interesting because in reality, the hub for like trafficking is Middle East, North Africa, Europe, like Mediterranean center, that, and then from Mexico into the US. But those are the two biggest trafficking areas, so it's pretty interesting to see them hit on something like that, even if it was, you know, pretty sly or that wasn't the direct way of saying it. Very cool to highlight stuff like that. Not many people really talk about or know about. I mean, trafficking's a huge deal. It happens all the time. It, unfortunately, is controlled by, you know, all these big corporations, governments. It's really a godless act to just traffic people. And so it's kind of interesting that they would show something like that, like trafficking, in such a terrible light, even though it wasn't for people. So not I wouldn't say based, but good theme to it. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. I just thought it was cool to see them target the destroying of food and the global supply chains in a movie. Always nice to, even though it's just pointing out, it's not like that's a win for us, but seeing stuff like that, just making people more aware of stuff that could happen, in reality, stuff that is happening. It's good to know. Good to see that there are some people we're still trying to help make alert. Me, as someone who's a political interested guy, I get all my, you know, information from people like John Doyle or Nick Fuentes, so I'm already informed. But a lot of people, they don't really know who those are, or if they do, they have a negative image of them, or just, you know, hear a lot of slander and think, oh, that's for, like, you know, alt-right, authoritarian, fascist, you know, stuff like that, whatever. Just names that don't really mean anything anymore. So it's cool to see them portrayed in popular media. That's about it.